Hello everyone, welcome to All About Literature. Today we are going to discuss a very famous poem by Robert Frost, that is The Road Not Taken. The poem is quite relevant to our life, which you will understand if you study the poem in depth. So let us begin. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. So here the word diverged means divided, and yellow wood refers to autumnal forest. So here the poem opens by the speaker referring to a road which gets diverged or divided into two in a yellow wood. So here the yellow wood refers to a forest with decomposing leaves shed from the trees. So this situation we face in our lives as well, when at a certain point of time in our lives we face a situation where we get options and we are bound to choose one and leave the other, and we are never sure whether the path we chose meets our expectation. And sorry I could not travel both. Now the speaker is sad and sorry about the fact that he cannot travel both the roads. He has to choose one and leave the other. So again we can relate this to our lives, as the options we get in our life, we have to choose one out of two and leave the other. And there will be one which will be left that we cannot choose. And be one traveller, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could. Now, the speaker, being one traveller, he stood there for quite a long span of time to analyze which road to choose and which one to leave, and looked down one as far as I could. And he tried to look as far as his eyes could see, to analyze and take a decision of which path he shall take, which would result in his favor. To where it bent in the undergrowth. So here the word undergrowth means a dense growth of shrubs and plants under trees. So he tried to see until there were dense growth of plants and bushes. Then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim. So here the word fair means equal and better claim means better option. So the poet says that he eventually decides to walk on the other road, which seemed to be as good as the first one, and having perhaps the better claim. And he adds that perhaps the one he has chosen is better option as compared to the other one, because it was grassy and wanted wear. So previously poet said perhaps the option he has chosen is better one, because this one seems to be more grassy and had not been used. So here the word wanted wear means not enough used. Though as for the passing there had worn them really about the same. So the word worn means damaged. So the poet says, but as he walked on the path he chose, he realized that it was no different from the other one and had been worn out or used as the other one. The relevance of the stanza in a person's life is when he is faced with the challenge of taking such a decision as to what path he will choose. It's only after he chooses one of the paths and walks through it, he comes to know about it. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. So, and both that morning equally lay means that morning both the paths seemed to be same. In leaves no step had trodden black, and both had leaves on them, and no one had walked over them, as they were green in color and not turned black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. So now the poet says, oh, I kept the first for the another day. Now he says, convincing himself that the path he could not choose today, he will walk on that some other day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, instead of knowing the fact that how one way leads to another, that means he had no idea the path that he had chosen will lead him to which way. I doubted if I should ever come back, and he was unsure that he had no idea whether he will be able to come to the same path again. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Now he adds that in the distant future he will be telling this with a deep breath. Sigh means deep breath. Two roads diverged in a wood, and so in the distant future he will be telling that two roads divided into a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and he took the one which was less walked by the people, and that made all the difference. Which made all the difference. So now he is trying to say that in the distant future, when he will be thinking of this situation, he will be telling it to others, and he will be saying that the path that he chose made all the difference, whether it will be good or bad, but whatever it will be because of the path that he had chosen in the past.